largely the same as Tom's Reasons or Papa Meats or Stampy Longheads. Like,
Papa Meats retiring? Oh, welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. Man, what a fantastic way to start the new year. Ruby Frankie and Jody Hildenbrat are in jail. Or they're waiting trial. They both pled guilty, and Ruby Frankie is, I think she's testifying against Jody Hildenbrat. I think that sources say, I've seen some little Google screenshots here and there say that they could be facing up to 60 years in prison. Awesome. Love to see that. Which, if you don't know, we covered a video about YouTube's worst mom, basically a Mormon family vlog channel, severe punishments, just despicable, unbelievable pieces of that are out there. So happy to hear that, and I will be making sure to cover that as soon as that information comes out, because I just think it'd be funny to see her go to prison, right? If I'm being honest. Is that funny? I think it is. And also, I hope that children are doing well. I'm also so curious, what's the dad's place in all of this, all right? I need to know. But coincidentally, when that was happening, I believe I saw the information on like December 20th, 28th, something like that drop. I started hearing about this thing called the House of Horrors. Started going down that rabbit hole. What exactly is that? Well, coincidentally, it ties in with Ruby Frankie very well, because this is another egregiously terrible family. Horrible, disgusting, and I will say with this video, usually we don't do this a lot, but with this one, I must say, viewer discretion advised with a lot of the conversations we're going to be talking about today. So if you're kind of squeamish, or if you just don't like conversations about abusive families, neglect, all that kind of jazz, I would say, you know, click off this one. But I wanted the first video of the year to be about something crazy and optimistic and quirky, and that, of course, is the Turnpin family and their House of Horrors. Today's video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon is the go-to cereal for any occasion. Have it as a protein-packed meal or an after-dinner treat. Either way, you're making the right choice, because each serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of proteins, 140 calories, and 0 grams of sugar. It's also gluten-free and grain-free and soy-free and wheat-free, making this a keto-friendly meal that you can feed to just about anyone. Hey, even this guy right here. And if you get the variety pack like me, you'll receive Magic Spoon in 4 tasty flavors: fruity, frosted, chocolate, and peanut butter. My favorite's the chocolate cereal, because it reminds me of all of my favorite childhood cereals that I used to love when I was a child, and definitely not now. I definitely don't eat them now, because I eat Magic Spoon. Try Magic Spoon! Click the link below and grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use the promo code PAPAMEAT at checkout to get $5 off any order. Or go to magicspoon.com/PapaMeat. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. Try it for free today. No risk. But thank you so much for Magic Spoon for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. The Turnpin House of Horrors, it's insane to think that when you hear these cases, like, especially like, let's say serial killers. Serial killers, it's always like the 70s, 80s, sometimes 90s, the 50s, 60s. You know, it feels so long ago. It feels like almost it's impossible for it to happen now, which I know is stupid to say, but it has that distance. With the Turnpin family, this kind of like extreme family and child abuse, it happened only 6 years ago in 2018, or that's when they were caught. It was long before that, but they were only caught 6 years ago. It sends a shiver down my spine. It's unbelievably disgusting, which you're probably wondering, after hearing all these delightful little things and these little kooky characteristics, you're probably wondering, well, Hunter, who the hell is the Turnpin family? Well, let me tell you. The Turpin family consisted of David and Louise Turnpin and their 13 children. 13. Remember that movie Cheaper by the Dozen? The comedy movie about 12 children? One more, right? That's the sequel. Cheaper by the Dozen, Turnpin's Family's House of Horrors, starring Steve Martin and Meryl Streep or some shit. The 13 children consisted of 10 boys. I'm gonna say 13 ghosts at one point. I already know it's gonna happen. I'm just gonna say it now. The 13 ghosts, oops, I'm sorry, 13 children consisted of 10 girls and 3 boys. And since the family was Pentecostal Christians, David and Louise, they said God told them to have numerous children. Maybe means 2. I'm gonna put that out there. If God's like, hey buddy, have a couple children, I don't think he means 13. I'm just gonna throw, if I go into a bakery, if I ask the baker, can I have numerous muffins? I don't think he's gonna give me 13 muffins. I digress, it doesn't matter. David was a computer engineer and Louise was a homemaker. What does a homemaker mean?
Stay-at-home mom.
She's a stay-at-home mom. Okay, let's say the real title. They were huge Disney fanatics and often took trips to Disneyland as families. I hate to even stop the story again, but the Disney fanatics, you know, we've had our own roll in with that subject, all right? Let me see this, I wanna see this. What is this here? That is a haunting disgusting picture of David. Louise looks fairly normal, I would say. I'll tell you what looks fucked though. The man in the background here with his like, that's a worker. Oh, it's a sweep. I thought he had a suitcase. He's like, I just got here from the airport. No, that's a man who's sweeping up the floor. This is going to just really tarnish the vibes and the perception I have of Disney fans and people who go to Disney every year. They're hiding something, and I just don't care for it. Oh yeah, there's the 13 people there. David with an extremely dope Andy Warhol-esque Darth Vader shirt. Louise, I mean, I say this now because I just want to say Louise here looks good compared to where we get. David doesn't look like this at all. I mean, he looks kind of creepy the entire time, but Louise here, it's odd. It's like all the Thang outfits. I hate that just David is just towering over everybody. That is just too many things. How many shirts did you want? 13. Oh, God. We gotta get those specially made at Hobby Lobby. I try to picture myself at what point did they go completely insane, and they're probably already mentally fucking insane here, so looks can be very deceiving. Remember Ruby Frankie? I might allow it with how good she looks. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful one. You're a devil in disguise, right? Oh, yes, you are. Devil in disguise. Elvis. Dave and Louise also renewed their vows in front of an Elvis impersonator. Yes, we have the footage here.
The chapel is filming the occasion.
God damn, that is a romantic kiss, dude. That motherfucker is getting in there. Do you see this? Damn! He looks like kind of like Larry Bird. That's what it is.
I take thee, Louise. I take thee, Louise. To be my wedded wife. Be my wedded wife.
I'd be pissed if that was my Elvis impersonator. He's not even doing the voice or anything. I take you, David and Louise, to be my lawfully wedded bride.
My best friend. My best friend. My soulmate. My soulmate.
Kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog, too. My soulmate.
My soulmate. Baby. Baby. Wise.
Okay. Wise man. He's just like, would you hurry up? I have to go home and chain up my daughters, please. Okay. You ain't nothing but a half. Goes into that. They're pretty good. And you know what? To the public, they seem like a happy family. Sure, did David look very creepy? Kind of like a Todd McFarlane action figure. Remember those? When he went to Spencer's Gifts, remember those? Did he look like that? Sure. Why not? Louise kind of, she looks like Alex Bornstein, voice actress of Lois Griffin. She was also on Mad TV. She did that racist Asian woman.
Take it easy, no me no.
Doesn't matter. But what people didn't realize is behind the scenes, there was a house of horrors. This is where we get into it. And I just want to say, once again, viewer discretion advised. You know, I understand why now that TV programs do that. Can't throw this stuff on people, Nick. They get fucking people, you get upset. How did they get caught? On January 14th, 2018 at 6 a.m., Jordan Turpin, a 17-year-old girl, escapes her family's home by climbing through a window. Using an old disconnected cell phone, she calls 911 begging the dispatcher that she and her 12 siblings are being held captive by their parents for years. Louise and David Turpin are the culprits. During the 20-minute call with dispatch, Jordan claims that her parents abused them physically by beating them, throwing them across the room, and pulling their hair out.
911, do you have an emergency?
I just went away from home because I live in a family of 15 and we have abusing parents. Did you hear that?
Okay, how did they abuse you?
They hit us, they like throw us across the room, they pull our hair, they yank out our hair. My two little sisters right now are chained up.
My God, unbelievable. I can't even imagine being like a dispatch operator, hearing somebody say my two siblings are chained up right now. Oh my God, despicable. God, how the fuck do people even get to this? Ugh. Makes me sick to my stomach. Jordan and her siblings lived in filth and would wake up unable to breathe because of how dirty the house was. She also told the dispatcher that her two little sisters are currently being chained up to their bed. Jordan was unable to give the dispatcher her address as she never goes outside and that she doesn't know anything about the streets. Jordan and her siblings rarely got a taste of the outside world, but some of the older siblings got to use an old cell phone. Jordan would occasionally watch Justin Bieber videos and used him as an inspiration. I'm going to tell you right now that Justin Bieber is the reason this girl got out of the situation. And God damn it, I have to say, hey, I'm not even one of those people who's just like, oh, Justin Bieber, whatever. God bless that boy. God bless that boy and that inspiration he gave this girl. Listening to his songs made her realize that there was an outside world, and she learned new words from watching his interviews. She literally learned how to speak properly because Justin Bieber doing interviews. God knows which interviews it was.
Why are black people afraid of chainsaws?
Don't even say it.
But he's an angel. He's an angel! Her plans to escape were 2 years in the making. Using the older sibling's phone, she documented pictures of the living conditions her and her siblings were subjected to. Unbelievable. When I was 15 years old, all I was worrying about was passing a driver's permit test. Imagine being like, I have to gather evidence against my family. I would never have that insight. Would never be able to do that. And for her to take out what I assume is probably like, I don't know, a Motorola Razor and start snapping pics, incredibly intuitive. Did Justin Bieber say that?
Hey, if your mom and dad are mean, take pictures of the house.
Can you imagine that? What if that was in an actual song? Can you imagine that?
Oh, my mom is bad to me, so I'm gonna take a picture.
That could be a song. Do you think that's a song?
If I was your boyfriend, I'd take a picture of your house.
Days before her escape, Jordan overheard her parents talking about moving to Oklahoma. She felt that during the move, some of her siblings would have died, so she made the decision to run. That's fucking insane. Literally moving would kill her siblings. And then she's like, fuck this. The time is now. Thank you, Justin. She has to have met Justin. Do you think has she met Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Do we cover that later? Okay, thank God. Quote unquote, Jordan says this: "That was my only chance. I think it was us coming so close to death so many times. If something happened to me, at least I died trying." That's some Hogan Heroes shit, dude. Holy shit, that gets me amped up. That's like fucking watching Top Gun for the first time. If something happened to me, at least I died trying. Fucking awesome. The next part, this is how I got introduced to this story, and this is the body cam footage of the officers coming up to the Turpin house for the first time, and just pay attention to their face, their body language whenever they answer the door. This is some extremely fucking bone-chilling stuff that we're about to watch, all right? So the first body cam footage we have is Jordan actually talking to the cops. Her basically, I mean, like, extremely scared, and it goes on to where we even go to the body cam footage of the cops actually showing up to the house.
Hi. Hi, sorry to bug you. We got a call for a check the welfare here at your house. So... for what?
I like how the dog in the background is basically just like, help! Help, please, God!
You guys have kids in the house?
Yes.
We now know they had been scrambling to have someone unlock the chains.
Look at their faces. I don't think I've ever seen anyone so fucking guilty in my life. She looks like she just woke up from her fucking sarcophagus and she doesn't know where the hell she's at. Then we got Larry Bird in the background hyperventilating because he knows he got caught. Unbelievable.
We got a call that there was a young female walking around saying that she came from a house over here.
Think she came from here?
That's what she said.
From inside this house?
I think so.
Oh my God. Dude, do you just want to take out a stamp that just says fucking guilty and start marking it on your forehead, you fucking idiot? You can tell right then and there they did not know she was gone at all, and they're like, wait, she fled from this house? She lived here? That's weird. She should be chained up by this time. I don't see how she could have gotten out. That's odd.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be knocking on your door at Sunday.
Did she say her name?
Oh my God, I fucking hate this woman.
We have a lot where we're packing. We're getting ready to move. No worries. So it's a mess in here. So
It's a mess in here, so let me tell you.
If there's shit all over the floor, or like random pies and birthday cakes in the trash can and vomit and children's blood, it's just because we're getting ready to move, okay? That's why it's so weird. All right, come on in.
How you doing, sir? I'm doing okay.
How you doing, sir? Could you get out of the doorway? I used to play basketball. Sir, no you didn't. You are not Larry. I'm Larry Bird. You're not Larry Bird.
No weapons in the house or anything like that?
I do have a gun. It's locked up.
Okay, locked up is good. We like that.
Well, it's not locked up now because I was pointing it in all of 13 of my children's faces this morning, but I do have a gun. Totally blocking the doorway too. Like he's like, I don't think I want you to come in here. Maybe you guys just give us like 3 days. You can come back. He doesn't even move out of the way. The officer has to be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna squeeze on in. He's just like, I played basketball at one time. It's like, no, okay, no, you didn't, but.
Search warrant or anything? No, I need one, sir.
Oh, that's funny. The deputy's like, no, we don't need one, sir. Well, I smell diarrhea. This dog is barking in the background, and I just, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and check anyways. Looking at you two ghoulish fucking sweet potatoes standing at the door, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and come on in.
The windows are closed. The room is swelteringly hot, magnifying the stench of excrement, decaying garbage, every sofa, counter, floor covered in layers of trash.
God. Imagine trying to justify this mess too, to being like, we're moving. It's like, no, you guys are hoarders and you're living in filth. It's also even more suspicious too that every blind in the house is closed. Like, you don't want anybody to look in, oh, I wonder why. Well, we're moving, duh.
What do you do for work?
I'm an engineer.
Oh, engineer.
Louise Turpin nervously probes again.
You got a call?
Yeah, we got a call from...
That has to be a part of training somehow for police officers, right? Dealing with them in that way.
You got a call?
It would take everything in my mind to just be like, why? Shut your fucking mouth, you horrible person. It's like, nah, no, we got a call. We don't really know what it's from, so we'll just take, I mean, you'd have to have the patience of a fucking saint, I feel like.
We'll figure out if maybe she was one of your kids that wandered away. How many kids do you have?
So you know you're in a bad place whenever there's the smoke alarm chirping like that. That's how you're like, we need to get out of here immediately.
How many kids do you have?
13.
13 total?
Yeah.
Woo! You guys are busy.
Yeah.
Woo! You guys are busy fucking a lot, aren't you? David's like, oh yeah, big time.
They are limp, frail, eerily quiet, caked in dirt. Their arms are bruised.
Ugh.
Where are the chains?
The House of Horror is unbelievable. When the police come in, this is some of the information we got. The house smelled of human feces, rotting garbage, and moldy food. There was trash littered on every surface of the house. The children were found quietly sitting in the filthy beds, limp, frail, covered in dirt, and with bruises all over their bodies. Some of the kids were so emaciated that they could barely walk. The eldest sibling was 29 years old. She was so malnourished that her muscle growth had stagnated and she weighed only 82 pounds. That is shocking. I mean, a lot of them don't even look that old. Like 29 years old, she looked like a child. I mean, she was so tiny. My God. Others suffered from heart damage due to lack of nutrients. One of the preteen's arms was the size of a 4.5-month-old's baby. The children had limited language skills, cognitive impairment, and nerve damage as a result of the prolonged physical abuse. Some of the children were so removed from the outside world that they didn't know what medicine or police were. They've been kept in this living condition their entire life, is the thing. Of course, also, I just want to immediately say this. Louise and David Turpin were arrested and put into police custody immediately. Thank God. But I mean, all these things in the video, you can see unopened packages. I mean, you can see all kinds of weird things, full pieces of food and garbage and stuff. And that goes into some of the punishments that they had in the house, which obviously they're malnourished, they're not emaciated. But to go even deeper on these punishments, I mean, David and Louise beat, strangled, and starved their 13 children. Their ages ranging from 2 to 29 years old. And all of them, I mean, frail, disgustingly treated, malnourished. I mean, malnourished isn't even the right word. I mean, they were on the verge of death, some of them. I mean, like Jordan said in her police call, I mean, the move itself seemed that it probably would have killed 2 of her siblings. So the 2-year-old was the only one that was well fed, but that was probably just so they can be fun and quirky and love it for, you know, 1 more year before they threw it in a fucking dog kennel. Who knows? The kids were only allowed 1 shower per year. So all the kids in the video that you see that are covered in dirt, it's because you're allowed to shower once. I mean, their hair is greasy, probably falling out. I mean, they pull their hair, you know, the parents pull their hair and stuff. The kids that were on the mattress are covered in dirt. It's filthy, it's disgusting. The adults were so malnourished that they looked like teenagers. Dave and Louise used chains and padlocks to shackle the kids to their beds as a form of punishment. They would taunt their kids by leaving pies out on the kitchen counter and then throw them away. Those fat fucks, that fat stupid that showed up at the door, she would take the food and she would buy full. She's like, I have my own pie and here's another one and you guys don't even fucking get it. I mean, I don't know how you don't just put a crowbar through her fucking skull. I would be so livid. You'd have to have some kind of psychological training to deal with that shit. Like, my God. Louise had a bad habit of racking up credit card debt, often spending thousands of dollars on children's clothes, games, and toys, but she wouldn't let any of her children use any of them. None of the clothes, none of the toys, none of the game, like nothing. So she's spending all this money and getting in all this debt, and she's just like taunting it and using it as like a fucking mental torture device. Ugh. Their only diet consisted of peanut butter sandwiches, bologna, frozen burritos, or chips. Louise and David would eat fast food and full meals in front of them. Ugh. The parents told their children that they couldn't afford food because the children were stealing. That's healthy. That's a good way to set up that. There's no way that's gonna leave lingering psychological damage. Also, what was the game plan? 29 years old? The game plan had to be that they were just gonna be there till they died, right? I mean, that had to have been. There's no other way. The kids weren't allowed to use the bathroom, so they had to use the restroom throughout the house, on the floor. I mean, like any and everywhere. Not only is it just like psychological torture, but humiliation. I mean, it's like you are probably treated like that of the dog in the house too. Jennifer Turpin said her parents would often point to the Bible to justify their abuse towards the children, stating, quote, "They had the right to kill us if we didn't listen. The children were punished for minor offenses. If you color outside of the lines, you'd be thrown across the room. God forbid you sneeze while you're coloring in your coloring book. Hey mom, I know you're a Disney fanatic. I tried coloring in this Monsters Incorporated book for you. Oop, slightly outside the line. Just, there she goes. My fucking God." One of the siblings was caught in her mother's bathroom, so Louise threw her down the stairs. David would use belts and sticks to whip the children until they bled fled, and any children that were rebellious were put into cages. How fun. How extremely fun and not completely fucking psychotic. I'm gonna cover my favorite part of this story, which is the trial. The Turpins were charged with 12 counts of torture, 12 counts of false imprisonment, 7 counts of abuse of a dependent adult, and 6 counts of child abuse. David later received an additional charge of a lewd act of a child under 14. You know what that means. February 22nd, 2019, David and Louise each pled guilty to 14 felony charges. 1 count of torture, 3 counts of willful child cruelty, 4 counts of false imprisonment, and 6 counts of cruelty to a dependent adult. April 19th of 2019, David and Louise received 25 years to life, and Louise addressed the court by saying, one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard one of these people say in my life, and if I was there, I would have scissor kicked her into whatever afterlife that she's going to. Hell. I would scissor kick her into hell, into the black void of death. That's what I do. She says this, I quote,
I want to say I'm sorry for everything I have done. I love my children so much. I pray for my children every day. I am truly sorry for everything I've done to hurt them. I love them more than they can ever imagine.
You lying you bitch. I hate you so much. If I was a judge, I'd be like, I just feel like I just hit the gavel until she just stopped talking. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a fucking liar. You're a liar. What? It's disgusting. I hate that. I love them more than they can ever imagine. Can't you see I love you? I just want to pull and rip out your hair and throw you across the room one more time because mommy loves you so much. Don't you know that mommy got you all those pies because she loved you? She didn't let you eat them because you get big and fat like mommy. And that's not good, right? Remember when you were shackled and you shit yourself for 3 months straight? That's because mommy loves you. That's mommy's love. Okay? Let me tell you the aftermath of all this, which those pieces of shit are rotting in a prison cell, thank God. And I hope whenever their parole comes, I hope that the people look at their charts and they're just like, no. Actually, if anything, I'm glad that it's been 25 years because Marcus and a guy gets up and he just grabs her fucking hair and rips it all out in one go. They just beat the shit out of the fat Larry Bird looking guy. That's what I would hope happens in 25 years, and I hope they rot in hell. I hope nothing but the worst for them. The aftermath of this whole situation, which life has been hard to adjust for most of the Turpin children, and really what, unfortunately for all of them, it isn't really the end. This isn't the end of this tragic story, which several of the Turpin siblings went into foster care and were taken in by Marcelino and Rosa Olguin, which in March of 2021, just 3 years ago at this point, the couple and their daughter, Lenny Olguin, were arrested for allegedly abusing the Turpin siblings. Can these people not get a fucking break? God, please, Lord, give them a break once in their life. My God. And 6 of the Turpin siblings filed lawsuits against Riverside County and the private foster care agency Child Net Youth. The Olguins, that were the adopted parents, subjected the Turpin siblings to severe physical, sexual, and emotional abuse, allegedly urging them to end their own life and threatening to return them to their biological parents. Stable people again! Mike, God. They also allegedly made the siblings recount in detail the horrors they suffered from their parents and forced them to eat their own vomit. Why? Why is this happening? God. The lawsuits claim Child Net Youth knew the Olguins were unfit to be foster parents since the family allegedly had prior history of physically and emotionally abusing children, as well as severely neglecting children who had been placed in their care. Good job, Child Net Youth, you fucking idiots. Is that still a company? Sure, they can't be a thing anymore. They're still a thing? That's fun.
Because this was like, in 2019. I think they were blaming COVID for like mishandled resources.
Oh yeah, it was COVID. That's why these psychopaths got hold of these children. It's just a coincidence that it was the kids who already had a fucked up childhood. We thought it'd be nice little kids who didn't have fucked up childhoods. COVID, am I right? It was a rough year for all of us, right? Fuck you guys. Only 4 of the 13 children's names are public, with the rest remaining private. The ones that we do know is Jordan, who was the one who escaped, Josh.
Sometimes I still have nightmares of things that had happened, such as my siblings being chained up or getting beaten.
Jennifer, who was the oldest, and Jessica. So those are the only 4. Hope the other 13 can move on, whatever. But Jordan Turpin, the fucking hero, the savior of this family, is thriving. Big time. Love to see it. 23 years old. She's a rising social media star and an aspiring motivational speaker. And she also has a modeling deal. Here's the biggest fucking kicker of all. Justin Bieber invited Jordan and her siblings to one of his concerts. The fucking guiding angel that gave her the motivation to push through, get out of this hell house, get get rid of her stupid fucking family, invites her to the show. I love that. I love Justin Bieber for that. I love it. Which, you know, this is a horrible thing. This is one of those things too where, and this is the same with the Ruby Frankie thing. I don't think you really ever move on from this kind of shit. I think Jordan's doing well, but of course there's like the psychological damage that comes across with this, and like probably the fucking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of children who deal with this kind of shit privately, you know, in their own ways is unbelievable. So I think what you're gonna be good. Let's put a link here if you ever feel like you need help with your own family. Follow this fucking link, dude. You know, I don't know. Is that right? Is that a good thing to do?
I don't know what link that is.
I don't either. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I don't know. All I'm saying is that these things, when you're young and you're forming, it's your formative years, it affects you forever. And for these people, these disgusting fucking demons, these monsters, to deprive people of a normal childhood, to be raised in a correct way, to be able to have a fighting chance in this fucking world that just sucks so much cock, it's unbelievable. So my hat goes out to them. I hope that they are doing well. I mean, Jordan seems to be doing well, and I hope the other siblings can have some kind of ounce of happiness in this life, especially with all the other shit that has been going on. But the House of Horrors is something that you just never know. You never know what's lurking behind the door of someone's house, the kind of tragedies that can be awaiting somebody. You never know what people are going through. Also, is a big thing. The weird kid, whoever else is going on, you don't know what people are going through in their own home life. So fucking introduce a little more love into somebody's life. Introduce a little more companionship, friendship into people's lives, because goddamn, dude, you just don't know. Evil is hiding everywhere in plain sight. So I just wanted to talk about this. The Ruby Frankie thing sparked this kind of story. It was just so horrific and moving that I had to feel like I share it with you guys and kind of let you all know about it as well. We haven't done a lot of true crime kind of stuff before, so I hope you enjoyed this one. Appreciate y'all for sticking around. Hopefully this can be something. It's always something that's very fascinating of getting to look into real life cases. And with these videos as well, I want to stress that we are in no way making light or trying to make fun of any of the victims here. We are just trying to, if anything, point the light at the fucking clowns that are the evil pieces of shit while informing you of some crazy shit that goes on in real life. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. See ya.